Hey there everyone, welcome back to this side of the multiverse where we're hopping back into the Elder Scroll. And sorry in advance if the stream abruptly ends because my USB-C cable, I think, for the Elgato has been acting up. So, we'll see. I'm rich! Oh, okay. I love just getting here and getting absolutely obliterated by that. That's...
If you don't get up, I'm taking your stuff.
fucking thing. Here, I brought you all those things I collected for your headache.
Excellent. Yes, I see you found the remaining ingredients. Knew you could do it. Knew you could. Give them to me, if you please. Everything else is prepared. Well done. Yes, just needs a bit of finessing. Brilliant. Should be all ready now to give to Oathman Lero. May I ask one more favor? Could you give it to him in my stead? Last I saw him, he was meeting with Spellwright Varsva. Oh, you know the usual, cleaning this, tossing that, busy. I need to avoid the mushrooms. Yes, that's it, the mushrooms. All those spores in that area are murder on the sinuses. To be honest, I tried to keep a good distance from Oathman Lero. I do some apothecary work for him and gather any ingredients he needs
Am I
for
allowed
his
to
own
poison
work,
someone?
but best not to get underfoot. He's a yeller, you know. Bevek, never! I could never. He would strike me dead for speaking out of turn, with spells and such. I mostly keep my head down and stay out of his way whenever possible. That's why you should deliver the tincture. not me.
You! Yes, the one who talked to Balva. Follow me. Saw you talking with Retainer Balva. He's up to something. Perhaps old Edril can help you find out, eh? Edril Athrin. I serve Retainer Balva. But that's not important. Like I said, Balva is up to something. Stinks. Maybe some cause. Fine, fine. Balva is always up late writing. His journal will have the answers. It is in the basement of the Retainer's billet. Now.
I'm gonna read this journal. Why are we being targeted? People fighting that thing? Oh, yep. Okay.
Can't hold on much longer.
No way! Fuck!
Give Laro the tincture and all. No, I would never. Well, yes, I would. But please, just give him the poison. I mean, the tincture. I'll take blame if you get caught. Just deliver it to him. He's truly awful. Bullying, boorish, with bad taste in clothes. This is the Telvanni Peninsula. What other options do I have? If I just make him sick, he'll blame me for it. If I do nothing, I'll just continue to be bullied. Please, take the tincture, but just don't tell him. That's all I ask.
No?
Stop complaining, Lero. Your headaches are no excuse for poor results. You are of House Telvanni. Find a remedy and press on.
Do you need something? I don't have time to waste with someone below my station. I've important House Telvanni affairs to see to, and my head is aching. Poison, you say? Ha! I didn't expect that worm, Bulver, to have such a murderous disposition. You did well to... Ah! Well, Spellwright, if you will, do the honors, and bring the accused poisoner to us.
I take no orders from you, Oathman. But my duty to House Telvanni demands I summon the offender to us.
What? How? No. This is some sort of mistake.
Not even the courage to deliver the poison yourself. Bulver Bemis, you are a cretin to the last breath. I suppose some gesture of appreciation is in order. Here, have some coin. I hope that will cover the costs of dealing with this fool, even if you did help him in his scheme. Right. Just another day of service to House Telvanni. These attempts aren't uncommon, so I must always be on my guard. I just need to make an example of those who try to kill me, and fail. Well, I suppose I should start searching for a new retainer. Someone who won't try to poison me, for instance. Especially not in front of a Spellwright. Now I deal with this poltroon and get back to business. Being an Oathman is such a headache.
Cease this needless posturing, Lero. Deal with this and be done with it.
Right. I'll deal with it, Spellwright. But allow me some time to savor the moment.
Let's move.
Have you heard? Rumor is there's a portal to Apocrypha somewhere in the city.
Necrom has...
Oblivion realm of Hermaeus Mora. In life, I came here often.
I'm with you.
I'm so bad at this.
No, not like this. need a potion for this, right?
Look for my mirror, and see if the Void Prowlers dropped anything. Hezek is many things. Courier, housekeeper, poet. But I am no fighter. If I roam about in search of the mirror myself, I'll get eaten. This is why you are here. Find the mirror. And if you see any items the Void Prowlers left behind, grab them. No, I never said that. Why would you think such a thing? Mortals talk too much. Leave Hezek be and find the mirror.
Let's see what you're made of. Who's better than us? Nobody.
Here's where those thieves ambushed me. Is that cloth? Yes, good. Useful. I see my mirror. Could be a trap. You get it. My mirror. Is it broken? Hezek is many things. No, I never. People leave trash everywhere, don't they? Why would Void Prowler brutes keep notes?
Let's hear it.
That's enough. The mortal keeps Hezek waiting with anticipation. I can stand here forever. You're the one who grows old. But you found my mirror, and that's what matters. I'll use it to track the Void Prowlers, assuming you found something of theirs as an anchor. Mortals are quite skilled at picking up garbage, aren't they? Anyway, this fabric tore off a Void Prowler's tunic. I grabbed for it as I fell. We'll use this to track the thieves. This notebook. I knew it! They did follow me from Fargrave! It's nothing. Not every piece of detritus you see on the ground is about you. You don't give Hezek orders! But yes, I'll use this cloth and notebook to locate them. Should have guessed. They went to the obscured forum, right where I was headed. I bet they plan to trade the secret for their own boon. That's my job. Head south and you'll find the obscured forum. Hard to miss. Look for the books. We'll catch the Void Prowlers there and take back my secret. The mortal knows very little about Scarfin, yes. My mirror shows me other places in Oblivion. Usually places I've already been to. This time, I used that junk you found as an anchor to the Void Prowlers. That lets the mirror show me where they went. One of the thieves! You talk to her. It could be a trick.
I told him it was a bad idea. Zaval said he underestimated them. But damn, this stings. Our leader pushed us to raid the forum. Quite the bounty, he thought. I told him. Vicious guards. Crazed. Attack on sight. Unless you're a book. You're with the runt. Zaval's still in there. If you go after him, you'll die too. Last I saw Zaval, he ran deep into the forum. Have fun with the Dark Reaves if you go in. Now leave me be, mortal. I have dying to do. Not personal. He works for Wim. She has the juicy stuff. Valuable. With that and the score here, maybe we get our own fortress. Mortals. It was a joke. We don't die. This just hurts. I'm ready for a new body. Great. Now you're here.
Now we find that secret. Hezek will let you lead. See here? The intake chamber. Deposit a secret, get a boon. obscured forum is too big. Why can't you summon portals? Hezeks can only fit one person. I don't want to leave your side. Too dangerous. For you. So we search on foot. Miserable. The longer we wander aimlessly, the more likely a swarm of dark reefs tears us apart. This is impossible. I suppose I'll prepare myself for another 1,000 years of serving Madam Wynn. Now you're giving me orders? Can Hezek ever make a decision of his own? Yes, of course. Let me do as you wish. It does appear the leader was here recently, and we might find him in that large room below us. Watch for the dark reefs. They hide in the dark, naturally.
This one's mine.
secret, isn't? All the void crawlers are dead, stuck in the obscured forum, and the secret's still lost. I'm a failure, mortal! I let Madam Wynn down! She's gonna add more years to my debt, I mean. You don't understand! secrets want to hide. They change appearance to blend in. As it bets this one looks like a book now because look around. We can't find one secret among all these tomes. No, I'll just have no. All I see in it is my pitiful face. Just how Madam Wim must see me. Wait, hold on. Lost items. Yes! How could Isaac forget? Oh, I know a spell. It reveals anything that's lost. It's how I met Madam Wim. But I need reagents. Let's see what's useful in a bookstore. Get me a tome shell feather, a glob of mold, red, not green, and, oh right, a quill. Isaac has never had a great memory, but that should... Everything I listed should be plentiful here. Tome shells are everywhere, so finding a feather is easy. For red mold, it grows in dark corners. And a quill? Look on the desk. I'll stay with you to make sure you get the right things. Tome shell feather, good. I hate those pests.
You're dead.
That tip should be sharp enough. The red kind, right? Too cramped. As it needs space for the spell. Deeper into the forum we go. I hear the echo of a hall. Should be plenty of space for the spell. Meet Isaac inside. Perfect. My spell will cover a wide area here. Don't dawdle. Bring those reagents here. After so many years, Isaac feels uncertain about this. Do I still have the skill? What if it turns me inside out? Or I fall through a portal into the lap of a Haverkrell? Yes, that's right. And I need to do this. To reduce my debt, of course. I'll need perfect concentration, so don't bother me. Head down into the hall. When I've located the secret, you should collect it. While Hezek knows what he's doing, I might not get this right the first time, so you'll need to be patient. I'll call out the location of where I think it is, and you go there and look for it. When you see it, collect it for me. I think I found the secret!
That's it?
Okay, sounds good.
Better be it. What did Hezek say? I find things. I can't believe you doubted me. Thanks for running around. It wouldn't have worked without you here. Except I would have found a way. Somehow. No, you hold on to it. That thing has caused me enough trouble. If the Dark Reaves attack us on the way back, Hezek might lose it again. Madam Wim wants me to deposit that secret at the intake maw. That will purchase her a boon of Mora. I need a moment to recover. Go back to the intake room and drop this secret into the intake maw. I'll be right behind you.
Okay, I will go and do that.
Such a troublesome secret. It better be a good one.
A boon for knowledge. Deposit payment for assessment.
Well, do as it says.
Knowledge deposited. Hold for assessment.
No, I do not want to hear Wim's dumb
Ezek is my most invaluable servant. Much of my power comes from his skill. Without him, I would be lost.
What? It's supposed to be a secret, not a lie.
Knowledge assessed and found sufficient. Accept this boon of Hermaeus Mora. Move along.
It's true. You get the boon. Ezek needs to think. Ridiculous. Meet me outside, mortal. I'm done here.
Was kind of a cute mission.
I never want to see another book ever again. So, you have the boon, which means the secret had value. Madam Wynn believes what she said. You helped lowly Ezek, reminded me of my purpose. Even though relying on a mortal embarrasses me, but I'll give you something of mine with great value. Ezek's secret. When my debt to Madam Wynn gets too low, I'll mess up a job on purpose. The Void Prowlers have a clan, yes? I have her. That's it. That's the most valuable thing I can give you. Oh, fine. Here's some shiny whatever this is. What she said changes nothing, by the way. Ezek still resents scurrying around when told to. Still. Alright then, back to Fargrave for me. Hope I never see you again, mortal. And keep what I said to yourself. It loses value otherwise. Mortal, you and I are different. Madam Wynn, me, probably most Daedra. We like our secrets. It's what we're comfortable with. You can go tell your feelings to whoever you want. Ezek wants no part of that.
Impressive. Another one. Confounded thing. You have... Greetings! You have a sharp look to you, traveler. My name is Azander. I'm an arcanist, and I'm hoping we can help each other out. I've decades of esoteric knowledge, a bit of coin, and a convivial attitude. What do you say? I'd like your help tracking down a former associate of mine. I was attempting to create a relic of great power, and now find my fate frayed, for lack of a better term. I call this relic the Fate Weaver Key. Martina was a brilliant collaborator, and may be able to identify where I went wrong. To find her, we'll need to find a tome, summon a Daedra, and brave the terrors of Apocrypha. What do you say? Join me in an exploration into the unknown? I'm looking forward to our collaboration. As I said, we'll need a book on Daedra summoning to get us on the right track. Let's convene in the center of Cypher's Midden. Is there anything I can clarify for you before we begin? That mystic phenomenon I was struggling with, I'm calling them frayed fates. They're echoes from a choice I once made. My work to create the Fate Weaver Key has snarled them up. So untidy. If I'm ever to perfect the key, I'll need to unfray my fate. A good question. I need to reset. Return to the roots of my research to unravel this issue. That's why I'm hoping to find my old colleague. Their name was Martina Abor, a talented researcher, though we've since parted ways. My hope is that a Daedric consultant, a watcher named Tim, will know where they are. The book will lead us to Tim, you see. Thankfully, the ciphers of the Eye have given me access to their stacks. An excellent question. I'm a scholar of esoterica, eldritch secrets, and things mortals were not meant to know. I'm an arcanist of the highest order, proud to say, wresting the power of Apocrypha into my quill-gnarled hands, as you do. Ah, a fellow seeker of knowledge. Do you hold more to the tentacular school of thought, or are you more of a rune carver? You're not one of those tiresome paddlers in the fathomless seas, are you? Apologies. We can compare notes later. It's not my fault. I mean, I was attempting to peer beyond the veil of reality, much as Hermaeus Mora does, to gaze upon other fate lines. It would have been brilliant. I should have spent more time developing my infralux notation. Just think, what could you learn by looking beyond your own life, at the paths unwalked? What kernels of truth could you hold with such a tool? I hope to gain knowledge about myself, about the universe, why, about the very nature of mortality. A simplistic example. Not all choices are equal, but if the choice to have oatmeal instead of eggs changed the course of your life, think of them like divergence points, and everything you could learn seeing the might-have-beens play out. The stacks aren't far at all. I'll see you there.
Over here, Proxy. I trust your trip through the Endless Library was not too unsettling. The winding paths of Apocrypha can prove troubling to those unfamiliar with its preternature. Cypher's Midden contains a wellspring of knowledge. Shall we begin our research? The ciphers of the Eye offer hospitality and refuge to mortals who arrive in Apocrypha, whether purposefully or by accident. However, I am reluctant to involve them in this endeavor. Fortunately, I have my own methods for conducting research. The contents of these stacks change from moment to moment, such as the nature of this realm's thirst for knowledge. I can prepare a spell scroll for each of us. As you search, it will dredge up anything related to the parameters I set for the spell. All research requires parameters. This spell should locate information pertaining to the Fulcrum Obscura, the Rite, and Torvasad's lost dream. Use the scroll's enchantment to aid your search. Then return here, and we shall compare notes. Scour the stacks, Proxy. The magicka I infused into your scroll shall assist you by retrieving any relevant tomes from their resting place. Meet me in my nearby study when you have completed your search. What a curious query. Where else would I research and ponder the knowledge that the one who knows deigns to share? It is a humble refuge, nothing more. Now, we really must see what information we can draw from the stacks of ciphers midden. You and Gadain recovered a portion of the relic, the Fulcrum Obscura, from the catacombs of Necrom. The rite appears to be related to a black book once in the possession of Magister Meln. Both seem to be essential to the enemy's search for a dream. Apocrypha contains all secrets and knowledge. Whether they be dreams or memories or tomes, they all wind up here. We know that Torvasad learned something at the Tranquil Catalogue. We need to conduct our own research now and try to get ahead of them. That is what we must determine. The various repositories of Apocrypha are infinite. Books, glyphics, vaults. We have ascertained that if this particular secret is uncovered, it has the potential to destroy reality as we know it. That must not happen.
Over here. See if that scroll no gate actually works. Ancient tome describing lost memories barely remembered in a dream? Too bad you only retrieved a few pages. They call this a library? I see no rhyme or reason to the Cypher's organization. Oh, and this is a terrible way to treat books. I understand now why Lyranor must employ spells to conduct research here. Have they no respect for the written word? It's burning up! Quickly, grab whatever remains! almost as though someone is eliminating these books the moment you find them. At least you recovered something. This stack might contain something important. Book crumbled to dust. Hopefully the pages you recovered contain something relevant.
Another disturbance in the currents of fate, and what do I find? The Great Eye's mortal stone. Again. Once again, the water of fate ripples with unnatural disturbances. As if some huge clod tossed a rock into a still pond. And what huge clod do I find at the center of these ripples? The Great Eye's mortal surrogate. As I explained on the mortal plane, I am tasked with aligning wrinkles in the annals of fate. How I accomplish that is totally up to me. But when something alters fate's prescribed path, it makes ripples. Just like the one I followed here. Interesting. It would be good to know more about what the agents of Vermina and Periite seek in my master's realm. Did anything out of the ordinary occur while you were conducting your search? I was afraid of that. Whatever you're involved in may be beyond my jurisdiction. I suspect the secrets you hope to uncover fall under the direct protection of Apocrypha itself. The Great Eye has put precautions in place to keep them hidden. It means you have been given an impossible task, and it may taint my otherwise spotless record. This is not good. Not good at all. Take whatever you learned and bring it to Larimel the Wise. Hopefully she can make sense of this conundrum. Of course not. Why would you? You're only mortal. You were selected to help Hermaeus Mora save Apocrypha and Nirn. To do that, you must uncover the very secrets the Great Eye's enemies pursue. Secrets that can unravel reality as we know it. Obviously, everything of Apocrypha is of Hermaeus Mora. Only through the Great Eye's will could the sacred tomes be destroyed. You were chosen, and then I was unlucky enough to become involved. For good or ill, our fates have become tangled. For me to complete my task, you must succeed in yours. Which is clearly impossible since you can't overcome Apocrypha's protections. Which means you won't be able to save fate. So I suppose it doesn't really matter. Reality will unravel soon enough.
Friend, Larimel is waiting for you in her study.
The search for knowledge begins!
Midden stacks have been reluctant to yield the answers I had hoped for.
Apocrypha itself works against you. But the Great Eye's surrogate had some success.
Indeed. Show me, Proxy. Is it true? Were you able to successfully gather research on the relic, the rite, and the lost dream? Every time I thought I found something relevant, it crumbled or burned up before I could examine it. So you experienced something similar? As though the stacks were actively trying to keep the information hidden. Still, you managed to save some of the research. A reflection of your role as Fate's proxy, perhaps. Let me peruse these pages. This implies the relic was specifically created to reveal hidden secrets. Do these secrets pertain to the ancient cipher's report regarding the dream of a lost memory? And this last one? Could the enemy be seeking the infinite panopticon? Only one of Hermaeus Mora's most secure repositories of secret knowledge. It exists within a pocket realm of Apocrypha, but the entrance constantly shifts locations. Of course, they must be using the Fulcrum Obscura to reach the panopticon. You and Gadain must use the part of the relic you possess to do the same as the enemy. Locate the entrance to the panopticon. There are cairns throughout the realm. Sprinkle this dust of conjunction on 3 of them, then let Gadain apply the relic. Applying the dust to the 3 cairns I marked on your map will form a matrix of magicka. Gadain shall use the relic on each. Then I can perform a ritual to locate the panopticon's entrance. I shall also give Gadain a gift. Something to protect him. A charm that will provide Gadain with some measure of safety as you travel through Apocrypha. Please keep him safe, Proxy. Even with the charm, he seems overly fragile. Each cairn should glow after the successful application of dust and relic. Research is often a series of trials and errors. But yes, this should work. In addition to its normal properties, the relic should also seek out its other half. After you activate the 3 cairns, return here. Then I shall complete the ritual. Gadain, take this charm. It shall mark you as my guest in Apocrypha, and keep you safe.
That's most thoughtful, Laramel. Thank you.
The infinite panopticon is kept hidden for a good reason, Laramil.
Which is why we must locate it and protect it from the enemy.
This is the sort of quandary that makes my tentacles twitch.
Laramil has read all these books? I suppose I just need to hold the relic out like so. It almost feels alive in my hand. It worked! Look how it glows!
Very smart. Laramil's tapping into the realm's currents of fate to find the Panopticon.
Laramil's amazing. Who else could help us find the Panopticon? Look, another can. Laramil's amulet can protect us both. Give me a moment to focus the Fulcrum Obscura.
I know how dangerous this sort of ritual can be. Laramil's brave, I'll give her that.
The other keepers are never going to believe this. Usually, when we misplace a relic, we find it behind a couch in the Abbey.
You approach a mere shadow, mortal. The remnants break under the assault of invaders. Perhaps this is our Lord's will. Do you know the Dream Carvers? The servants of Vermina? As we speak, they tear apart our fortress, the Cenotaph. The remnants are were blades of Lord Hermaeus Mora. He imbued us with a portion of himself, so we could defend his realm. For eons, this pact held. Now, the Dream Carvers may take our gifts for themselves. We secured the pact inside a space called the Crux. Should the Dream Carvers enter this space, our gifts become theirs to steal. Mortal, the invaders cannot gain these powers. Help us purge them from the Cenotaph. We reward aid when given. Any effort you provide puts us in your debt. The Cenotaph lies in the north. Just outside, you will find a group of surviving remnants. Look for Tiss. Stay cautious, mortal. The Dream Carvers attack your mind, long before they reach your flesh.
There's the final can. Get closer to me, friend. Dust applied. Now to use the relic. Oh my, it wriggled in my hand. All done. Let's return to Laramil's study and let her know she can proceed.
Outworlder! We need you! Greetings, Outworlder. We know why you came, and we offer gratitude for your timely assistance. Our situation grows dire. Very few of us still stand, and we can no longer hear those who do. The Dream Carvers must not reach the Crux, but we cannot stop them in our weakened state. You, however, are an unexpected development.
Dream Carvers swarm our fortress. It is theirs now.
While our pact still exists, so do the remnants.
Stop clinging to a dead order. We must accept our fate.
This mortal can change our fate. Stay here, tend to the stricken. Dream Carvers roam the halls of the Cenotaph, seeking a path into the Crux. Resetting the fortress defenses shall be our first task. You can enter through a cave system to the north. We will secure this camp, then meet you inside. The Dream Carver invasion proves our clan has grown weak. If we cannot defend our home, how can we serve the Great Eye? A rift threatens the remnants. Do we attempt to regrow, or disband entirely? Although our power sputters and dims, we still emit a small glow. The remnants are the sword and shield of the Eye who sees all. No greater honor exists in oblivion. Our pact with Hermaeus Mora still holds, so we must defend it. Let us plan. These caves wind through the Cenitaph's lower levels. Many of our defensive measures originate here and extend through the fortress. The Dreamcarvers disabled our wards as they invaded. We must reset them. We will find them north of here. They will require both of our efforts to set. You must hold the trigger while we funnel energy into it. Once set, the wards will drive most of the Dreamcarvers from the Cenitaph. We may run into Dreamcarvers as we search. Do not hesitate to dispatch them with prejudice. Remember, they will reform in oblivion over time. You will not. Let us move north through the tunnels. We will alert you when we find a ward. This Dreamcarver spell opens a void in our thoughts. It feels like an erasure. We can recharge this power node. Our fire trap should ignite now. Here, a node of power for the traps. This should surprise our invaders. A power node. Let us charge it. That covers our exits. Let us talk about next steps. With the traps powered, we should find navigating the Cenitaph much easier. They should destroy most of the invaders with ease. However, they won't get them all. We need to determine how close they are to reaching the Remnant Pact. We head to the courtyard. If the Dreamcarvers wish to breach the Crux, they must go there to do it. The passage to the east will take us to a balcony. We can assess their progress from there. Massive ritual! Destroy the focus! Facets of the ritual may tell us something. Look for clues.
A sample of my vestige for each stone. This unlocks the way.
That is the ritual's core. Her own essence. Fragments of ritual media. We can learn from that.
So alone. We can't hear them. Too quiet. Please, no. Bring them back. We cannot stand being alone. Dream cover magic squirms through our mind. It wants our secrets. It wants inside.
Remnants function as a whole. Why isolate us? That creature, Uzanath, she leads these invaders. We know her reputation. Savage and impatient. No wonder she managed to take the cenotaph by force. To use her own vestige as fuel for the ritual presents a massive risk. The walls of the crux cannot break. We connected the locks to the remnant's mental web. Only we may enter unscathed. Uzanath's ritual siphons remnant minds. She blends their psychic energy with her own essence. What it means, mortal, is she has crafted a key to the crux. Once she blends enough remnant minds with her own vestige, she will appear as one of us. The crux will open. The pact will be exposed. We search the grounds, find other ritual foci, and destroy them. Steel yourself. Dream carvers roam everywhere. We did not choose our fortress. It arrived when we needed it most. Once, sounds of training and discussion echoed through the halls. As our numbers dwindled, the cenotaph fell quiet.
Let's knock some heads. Got to be better than that to stop us.
Destroy the ritual! Sever the... Let us keep searching. Another ritual focus. Destroy it! That should weaken the ritual.
What? I guess we could do that. What can I do?
the crux!
Here you are, the rats scurrying around to cause trouble. Despite your efforts, I have what I need. Good try, though.
Quick, we need to plan. Without those rituals, the Dreamcarver's plan should move drastically slower. Our next task is obvious. We find Uzanath and stop her from entering the Crux. If we ascend the tower, we can get a better view. Perhaps see where she hides. No! After everything, we were too slow! They have entered the Crux and can access our pact with Lord Hermaeus Mora! The remnants may actually end. Perhaps. No one has entered for countless eons. The remnants have keys to the Crux, but we have never needed them. Until now. We need the journal of the first remnant. It will tell us which relics we need to place around the circle to open the door. There is little time. We must go, now. Find the relics. Hurry! A journal containing the wisdom of the first remnant. That spyglass peers through the void to find new realms. That key itself is a lock, which another key then opens. Well done. Now we go to the ritual phase. Here, we will guide you through the next steps. Place the relics where I tell you. Once complete, our power shall flow through them. Hurry, our power wanes. We can feel it. We use the gathered relics. We shall open a door like any other. You will have no problem entering. Form a lock. Place the relics while we channel to pierce the void and see our promise held. Find us all through ancient wisdom. We opened the way. Enter the Crux out. The Crux. Wait. Our connection. We have gone silent.
It's empty. You, remnant! There's nothing here! Trickery? I shall take your mind.
It is empty. Except for this. Follow. We must think. What does this mean, mortal? We need your guidance. As far back as we can recall, the remnants believed we directly served Hermaeus Mora. Our connection to him drove us to defend his will. Perhaps that was a lie. The pact was nothing. A shattered plane with a rotting book. Further, where does our power come from? We cannot say. Now, we must decide. Do we tell the remnants of our discovery? It would surely destroy us. Or do we use the victory to reinvigorate the clan? Show that Apocrypha still needs our defense? An excellent point. Our goals do not need to come from some external source. We can reinvest in our purpose on our own. Perhaps others will join out of a desire to gather knowledge, instead of to serve another. We feel more certain than ever about our task. Our clan will gather and discuss how to prioritize. The cenotaph of the remnants will become the sword and shield of Hermaeus Mora once again. It's only through your efforts that we have a chance to rebuild. The remnants will rise again and last for eternity. All thanks to you. This outcome was unexpected. Nonetheless, you earned this. We offer it in gratitude. What comes next feels mysterious. Perhaps the others will have an idea on how to proceed. Until then, you have our gratitude, Outworlder. May we fight alongside each other again in the future. We shall rebuild. Our order may have seemingly collapsed, but perhaps we can rebuild stronger. We will create a more solid foundation. We still believe in serving Hermaeus Mora.
They have emerged, and unharmed. What fate comes for our order, then?
See what we have done. The cenotaph stands. Our order can rekindle its strength. This proves it.
Our gifts return, and we hear our thoughts once more. Perhaps the remnants can still serve.
right?
Of literature, and none tells how to cure disease.
The cans have been activated, Laramil.
Well done. Now, to complete the ritual. I feel the ebb and flow of Apocrypha. Some guide me, others fight.
Laramil, do be careful.
I told you. Apocrypha doesn't give up its secrets without a price.
Got it! Curate Gidane's concern is appreciated but unwarranted, Proxy. I have been sifting through Apocrypha's secrets long enough to know my limits. And the ritual performed just as I hoped it would. Still, I could use a moment to regain my strength. The ritual directed me to the desolate northwest reaches of the Chroma Incognito. I sensed the entrance we seek there, as well as the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura. Our enemy must have also located the entrance, or is close to doing so. Let me mark the location on your map. Go quickly, Proxy. I shall follow and meet you there after I make sure Curate Gidane gets back to Nern safely. Go to the northwest region of the Chroma Incognito and see what you can find, Proxy. I shall catch up with you in due course. Only what I read. It exists outside the time and space of Apocrypha, hidden from all. It supposedly contains many of Hermaeus Mora's most closely guarded secrets. The interior is said to be so bizarre that the very sight drives mortal minds insane. Do not fear. My decades of study have made me mostly impervious to the horrors of forbidden knowledge. And you are Fate's proxy. You should be able to survive a visit to the pocket dimension. Besides, to save both realms, we have no other choice. Screwed. Please make sure Curate Gidane returns safely to Necrom. His work here is done.
But we still haven't recovered the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura.
Listen to Laramil, mortal. Your mind would melt the moment you stepped into the infinite panopticon.
But... Oh, very well. I'll return to Necrom and see if I can learn anything more about the hidden kindred or Master Shelreni. Do be careful, my friends.
Have you found any ciphers or strange grimoires in your travels, stranger? There are tomes missing from our collection and several ciphers as well. If you come across them in your travels, bring them back. I would be grateful. Talaxalt is dead? That is unfortunate. She was a promising cipher. I looked forward to many profitable discourses with her, but Apocrypha holds many dangers for mortals. What kind of situation could she have gotten herself into? Why, this is the first volume of the Numinous Grimoire. It's one of the tomes that went missing from our collection. A dangerous book of forbidden knowledge. It destroys the mind of any mortal who reads it. I'd better take that. This is troubling. Talaxalt should have known better than to meddle with a Numinous Grimoire. I must look into this. Thank you for bringing back this book, and the news of Cipher Talaxalt's fate. Here. A reward for your trouble. A strange tale. Why would this mysterious A kill a cipher who did as they asked? What's behind the promise to read the book together? Well, if you find any other dead ciphers or missing books in your travels, come tell me. That is unclear. No mortal has read a volume of the Numinous Grimoire and survived with their mind intact. We think it deals with transformations, immortality, or so the Daedra familiar with the book tell us. They could be lying. Because ciphers are dead. The note you found makes it clear someone used my colleagues to get their hands on the grimoire. Then this instigator repaid a cipher's help with death. None of us are safe until this mystery is solved. That makes two of us. There must be a connection between these ciphers. Something they have in common, but I do not know what it is. Which missing cipher do you want to know about?
Have you lost your...
Take care of her.
Looks like a quick little adventure. I'm game.
Our strength wanes, Wanderer. Curious. You emanate a familiar pattern. A tone which resonates with ours. Yet you are mortal. Perhaps our sanctum's pain drew you here. Creatures overrun the apogee of the tormenting eye, driven only to devour. Dremnican. Our order, the Remnants, gathers knowledge. These beasts consume it. They breached our wards, burrowing into the apogee. Relics from across Apocrypha are now at risk. We must drive them out. You've arrived to aid us. Why else would the Eye of All place you here now? Be certain. The Remnants reward service. A simple task. Recover the relics before the Dremnik can find them. Close the beast's entry portals. Then activate the Apogee's protective wards. Help us. Take this room. It will draw you to our most powerful relics. As you find Dremnican portals, use the room to collapse them. Once completed, reset the ward at the peak. Now go, Agent of Fate. Ascend the apogee. We shall await your return. The apogee is a vault for items of arcane interest. At its center lies the Shrine of the Tormenting Eye, one of Hermaeus Mora's famed black books. It is currently off serving his divine purpose. Once, many considered this place to be impenetrable. Dremnican are pests. They have tested our defenses since the apogee's construction. If one discovered a faded ward or a crack in our dimensional shielding, it would slip in. Others could follow, further widening the breach. The mind who grasps, Lord Hermaeus Mora himself, bestowed these gifts to the Remnants. A pact made centuries ago gave us strength in exchange for service. Odd that you'd possess such powers. But even we won't claim to understand our Lord's plans. The apogee is a vault for items of arcane interest. At its center lies the Shrine of the Tormenting Eye, one of Hermaeus Mora's famed black books. It is currently off serving his divine purpose. Once, many considered this place to be impenetrable. Dremnican are pests. They have tested our defenses since the apogee's construction. If one discovered a faded ward or a crack in our dimensional shielding, it would slip in. Others could follow, further widening the breach. Yes, we know. So few survived that assault. Eventually, the vestiges who the Dream Carvers cut down will reform and return to Apocrypha. Until that time, our gifts remain weak. In any event.
Watch it.
You weren't keeping score, were you? You asked for it. Who's next? What do you need? Let's hear it. Should have been more prepared.
quickly. Use the rune's power. Cleanse the locus. Together we can reset the wards. Concentrate. The ritual drained our strength. Join us outside once your task is completed.
You're going to regret this. Need something? You want to die? Fine. Let's see what you're made of. Down they go.
Give him a fight. My food!
on. No surprises there.
You emerge. Come. No need to tell us of your exploits, mortal. We can hear. Though still faint, the hum of knowledge steadies. The threat has passed. Before we conclude, return the relics you secured. We can no longer trust the apogee to protect these items. It weakens and will fall. Your efforts give us time to relocate the secrets within. Take this reward. Your service has concluded. Although the remnants must abandon this place, do not think your efforts a waste. Staunching a wound is the first step toward recovery. Our clan will clear out any invaders still left, then begin transporting the Apogee's wisdom to a new home.
Alright everyone, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the ESO playthrough, and I'll see you all next time.